seniors like Jerry. It's up to us, Kansas.
The four states most watched news starts now.
The Neosho City Council is deciding on a mandatory mask mandate and an occupancy limit. This is KOAM News at 10. KOAM's Caitlin Shive spoke with city officials and brings us the details.
In Tuesday night's City Council meeting, the Neosho City Council members decide whether to pass a mandatory mask mandate and occupancy limit ordinance.
There was a draft ordinance that was written up by our city attorney at the request of council due to a letter that was circulated from area hospitals.
Area hospitals and health officials have urged local cities to help in reducing the spread of the coronavirus. The proposed mask mandate ordinance would require that everyone in the city of Neosho will have to wear a face mask inside public facilities or businesses that are open to the public, in public transportation, and outside when social distancing is not possible.
There is exemptions in there for, medical things like that.
Exemptions include those with medical conditions that fall under CDC guidance, children under 6 years old, those with religious beliefs that prevent them from wearing masks if eating or drinking, if engaging in group or team sports or exercising, and in settings where wearing a mask is not feasible. The occupancy ordinance would restrict businesses and organizations in city limits to operate at 50% capacity, with exemptions of educational institutions, daycare facilities, and places of worship. The ordinances have received mixed reviews from local business owners. Charlie's Grill told us they are not for the capacity mandate as it would be a huge hit to their business. However, the florist and the merchant owner tells us they are supportive of whatever council deems necessary to help the health of the residents of Neosho. In Neosho, Caitlin Shive, KOAM News.
Now, if passed, the ordinances will go into effect immediately and last until February the 12th. And a few more than just one snowflake falling outside now, Doug.
Yeah, we finally got some light little snow showers that have been pushing through over the past several hours. It's not amounting to much. Most of the roads are just wet, but we are getting some light accumulations on cars, decks, and also in the grassy areas around the region. But temperatures have been cold all day for us today. 24 to start, 34 for a high. And you can see these light snow showers over the past couple hours kind of falling apart now. Now we just really kind of have some flurries, but there's a back band out toward Wichita that should rotate through, so we may get another burst or two of very light snow as we go through the rest of the evening into the overnight hours as this storm system kind of wraps up, gets ready to head out of the region. So light snow showers, flurries the next few hours, and then just cloudy skies, very cold for us tonight. Of course, we're going to look at what's to come, what's going to happen, when's our next storm system. We're going to look at that here in just a little bit.
All right, Doug, thank you. A Webb City man is in jail tonight accused of killing a man from Lamar. Authorities have arrested 27-year-old Lane Bronson on charges of second-degree homicide for the July 2020 shooting that killed 51-year-old Terry Harless of Lamar, Missouri. The Lamar Police Department, Missouri State Highway Patrol, and the Southwest Missouri Major Case Squad helped with the investigation. The Newton County Sheriff's Office says a murder suspect died in jail while awaiting trial. Newton County Sheriff Chris Jennings says 43-year-old Vernon Thomas died in a Joplin hospital 2 days after COVID-19 symptoms first appeared. Thomas was charged with first-degree murder in the March beating death of 37-year-old Wesley Porter. Thomas was among several inmates who tested positive for COVID-19 since late November. A probable cause statement alleges that robbery suspects led Newton County deputies on a chase that involved gunfire. The statement says Daniel Duran and Gabriela Espinoza failed to stop when a deputy tried to stop the car they were traveling in on I-44. Deputies say the black GMC Yukon they were traveling in matched a suspect vehicle in an armed robbery. During the chase, authorities allege the suspects fired shots at the deputies. Authorities say once the suspects stopped and were arrested, officers found 2 children in the car along with drugs. The 2 are charged with first-degree assault, 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, possession of a controlled substance, and resisting arrest. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office says they found evidence in a deceased suspect's home linking him to an armed robbery. The robbery happened on December 2nd in Weir, Kansas. Authorities say the suspect, 46-year-old William Haddon, was found unresponsive in his cell yesterday morning. And a McCune, Kansas woman is dead after a three-vehicle crash yesterday evening. It happened a little after 6 on Highway 400, about 10 miles east of US 59. Police say 44-year-old Mandy Carstetter was traveling east when she attempted to turn north onto Messer Road. Her vehicle was rear-ended by a truck following behind and then struck again by a semi heading west. Carstetter was pronounced dead at the scene. The other two drivers were uninjured. Police say a Chinook, Kansas man had a medical incident before he crashed the semi he was driving. It happened yesterday just before 4 p.m. east of Catoosa, Oklahoma. Authorities say 59-year-old Alvin Stinger was driving north on US 412 when a medical incident caused him to roll his truck through the intersection of 412P. Stinger was taken to the hospital where he died. The Kansas Corporation Commission extended an order aimed at helping utility customers avoid disconnection. The order requires utilities to offer 12-month payment plans and to waive late fees. The order was originally set to expire on the 31st, but will now run until the end of the coronavirus pandemic. Still ahead, COVID-19 deaths continue to rise in the nation as the first doses of the Pfizer vaccine are given to frontline workers. And the deadline to enroll in the ACA marketplace is looming. We'll tell you what you need to know.
You're happy.
A Mercy Hospital doctor is the first in Joplin to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Dr. Eden Esquera, an infectious disease specialist, was the first to receive the vaccine. 5 other Mercy employees were vaccinated today. Those vaccines are too late for the more than 1.6 million COVID-19 victims around the world, 300,000 of them in the U.S. Danya Bacchus has the latest.
Scenes of joy are playing out across the country, prompted by the arrival of Pfizer's new coronavirus vaccine.
It felt good. Pressures were high, tensions were high, but I'm glad I could help the people out there, you know what I'm saying?
The first round of doses has largely been earmarked for first-line medical workers and nursing home residents. It's expected to be enough to immunize about 3 million people.
I never thought that I would be excited about seeing arms with Band-Aids on them.
Another vaccine took a step towards being approved Tuesday. The FDA released a report saying Moderna's vaccine is highly effective. It could be approved for emergency use this week.
And that's why this vaccine is so important. You know, this whole thing goes away and we get back to normal.
The distribution of the vaccines began as the U.S. reached another grim milestone. On Tuesday, the funeral bell at the Washington National Cathedral tolled 300 times, each one representing 1,000 U.S. victims of the pandemic.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, but we're still in the tunnel.
Officials say overcoming public skepticism about the vaccine remains a challenge. Many don't need to be convinced. One Arkansas pharmacy already has a waiting list.
I don't think anyone has any, hopes that I'm going to call them next week that it's time for a vaccine, but they're just excited to get their name on a list.
Pharmacist Ann Pace says the list is only for senior citizens, most of whom tell her they want to be vaccinated so they can see their grandchildren again. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Today, the FDA approved the first home-based COVID-19 test kit. It'll be sold over the counter without a prescription starting sometime next year. The federal open enrollment period for the Affordable Care Act ends at midnight tonight. It's the last chance for millions of uninsured Americans to buy coverage for 2021. A study by the Kaiser Family Foundation found more than 15 million people can get free coverage or a reduced price. In the states that operate their own exchanges, the enrollment deadlines may extend into next month. Bacteria found in the mouth could lead to lung cancer even if you're a non-smoker. A new study published in Thorax finds a certain type and volume of bacteria raises the risk for lung cancer. Bacteria in the mouth has been associated with other cancers, including head and neck. Researchers wanted to see if the same was true for lung cancer, since bacteria can enter the lungs through the mouth. Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast, and a little later on the KOAM News at 10, how a national retailer is helping Joplin firefighters provide some presents for area kids.
Electric today.
Well, we've actually seen a little bit of snow out there over the past few hours. It's been very light. We've had flurries, light snow showers across the region, but as the sun set and our temperatures drop below freezing, a little bit of it has been sticking, which is kind of cool to see, as most of the snow was in our southern counties, the snow that we had 2 days ago. But it's cold. Temperatures are sitting 28, 29, 30 degrees around the metro, and it looks like our temperatures will continue to drop off as we work through the overnight hours. 27 Iola, 31 in Bonita, 30 in Anderson. Stockton Lake is at 29 degrees. And you can see the flag barely blowing in the wind. Of course, it's fairly light, but it makes it feel a little bit colder than what it is. Temperature is sitting at 29, feels like 24. North winds at about 5. Humidity, of course, is up there at 92%. And you can see all day long we've been socked in with the clouds, and then the snow showers over the past several hours kind of falling apart. We still have some bands out there, and most of the roads have been wet. There's a few little slick spots out there, so be careful if you are going to be out tonight. But most of the snow has been a half an inch or less over the past couple hours. Still, we have some light snow, which is taking place really in our southern counties from Bonita, Grove, Grand Lake over toward Anderson, Pineville, and Cassville, and then really just kind of spotty everywhere else. But we are going to see a couple very light bands, which will continue to work through tonight, so we could get some very light additional accumulations as we go through the overnight hours. This whole storm system's fairly weak. It's fairly disorganized. It will get organized as it passes by. You can see the little trough right across the Central Plains, but as this rolls up the eastern seaboard, this is going to become a monster storm system for the New England states over the next 24 to 36 hours. Let's go through time. Light snow showers, hit and miss, on and off, and flurries for about the next 3 or 4 hours. Then we just have cloudy skies. It is going to be cold. We're going to drop back into lower 20s for overnight lows. So additional accumulation, very, very light, maybe a dusting, maybe a 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch. But it'll bring storm totals in some spots, a little over a half an inch, other areas of dusting. So just a tiny little snow that we have seen tonight, but it will continue to work right on through and should be out of here in about 2 or 3 hours. We're going to have some clouds in the morning hours, and then in the afternoon we get some sunshine. Unfortunately, it's going to be cold. We start at 23, 34 by noon, high temp right around 39. Cold again tomorrow night. We'll slide back into lower 20s. And then as we head into Thursday, we're going to have plenty of sunshine, and it actually starts to warm up a bit as temperatures are going to get near 50 degrees. All right, next system. Thursday looks okay. We get a fast-moving system late Friday into Saturday. This will give us some showers, mainly Friday night. Most of the weekend looks good. Monday looks good. Tuesday looks good. And then by Wednesday, which is the 23rd, our next system pulls out. This is going to give us chances for rain, maybe a little bit of snow on the backside on Christmas Eve. So we'll keep our eyes on that. The chances for a white Christmas are slim, but there's a slight chance. 39 tomorrow, 50 on Thursday. Those showers moving in late on Friday.
Well, we all keep our fingers crossed for that white Christmas, Doug.
Yeah, we usually do every year around here.
It's hit and miss, but maybe we'll get lucky this time.
Yep.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Well, Joplin firefighters are expanding their hero duties this holiday season. They are shopping for gifts for children. Things like new clothes, shoes, sports equipment, camping gear. And they have more help for that shopping thanks to a $1,000 gift card from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
To help out those families and those kids, it means a lot to us. This is our community, and we've been given the opportunity to serve and protect this community, and it's just another way for us to serve our community.
This is the 35th year for the Joplin Area Firefighters Christmas for Kids campaign. Watered Gardens in Joplin announced the earnings of their Empty Bowls fundraiser. The annual event sees local artists donate handcrafted bowls, which Watered Gardens sells, and then at a later event fills them with soup. Officials say this year they raised a total of $7,034.
To collaborate with the other ministries This does a great advancement into the next year for us. So this is the second year that we've been able to participate in this, and it's huge for us.
Watered Gardens has made more than $28,000 since they started the Empty Bowls event 8 years ago. Well, Christmas is next week, Hanukkah is already here, and shipping deadlines are fast approaching. One of them is actually already here. Today is the deadline for USPS retail ground service for expected delivery by December 25th. It's also the last day to get FedEx home delivery and FedEx ground. For USPS first-class service for mail and packages, you need to get it in by Friday. Monday is the deadline for FedEx Express Saver and 3-day freight, as well as UPS 3-day select. Well, still ahead, the Carthage wrestling team looks to keep its perfect record blemish-free as they hit the mat against COC rival Joplin. We'll have the highlights next.
Doug Hetty has earned the NWA Joplin.
The Carthage Tigers are off to a perfect start to the wrestling season. They've had 7 duels, and so far, they're 7-0, including 1-0 against COC League opponents. Now tonight, Tigers aim to stay perfect with a league duel against Joplin. 138 pounds, we get our first pin of the night, Eli Sneed for Carthage, winning by fall about 3 minutes in. At that point, Carthage out to a 25-3 lead. And right after that, 145 pounds, Davian King makes it back-to-back wins by fall for Carthage. This one over Reese Mashis in the first period. Joplin didn't just lay down. Brendan Minette at 160 pounds gets the Eagles' first pin, first period over Gray Pettigrew. Carthage, though, would finish it off. You may recognize this dude from football season, Luke Gall, 182 pounds, wins by fall in the second period. Carthage tops Joplin 50-15. The Tigers, good early start. They're 8-0 to begin the season.
Early's not what our goal is. Our whole goal is to continue to get better every week, to challenge our weaknesses and get better at those so that we're ready to make a run when it comes to districts and state. Honestly, it's good to win a conference duel. It's going to have implications down the road when we get to the conference tournament with being Joplin, another Class 4 school.
The Colgan girls are off to a 3-0 start to the basketball season. So far, they've beaten Columbus, Jasper, and Liberal. Tonight, the Panthers on the road for the 4th consecutive game, facing league rival Baxter Springs. Third quarter, Colgan leads. Lauren Yamor straight through the lane for 2. Panthers doing it on the other end. Off the turnover, Caitlin Crossland behind everybody for the lay-in. Panthers comfortable lead going to the 4th. And in the 4th, Baxter trying to get back in the ball game. Haley White open over there in the far corner for 3. She knocks it down. Colgan, though, would finish it off. Good ball movement here eventually to Riley Root for 2. Colgan gets to 4-0, winning this one big, 62-27. On to the boys' game now. It'll be Doug Brown. First points of the game for Colgan. 3 from the left side. Panthers have the early lead. Zach Beeler, other end, got the answer. Colgan up 6 after 1. Second quarter, Baxter hanging around. Cameron Williamson from about the free throw line there. Colgan, though, would pull away. Nick Eisen off the miss. He cleans it up. It's a Colgan sweep tonight. Panther boys take it 52-31. The Pittsburgh girls at home tonight, aiming for a 2-0 start against Nevada. This one is final. Pittsburgh does it. They get back-to-back wins, topping the Tigers 58-46. Yates Center High School senior Easton Reynolds signs his letter of intent today to move on and play golf in college. Reynolds is headed to the MIAA to play for the Washburn Ichabods. Although COVID messed up his junior season, Reynolds has had a successful high school career to this point. As a sophomore in 2019, he finished 8th at state individually in Class 2A. He helped lead the Wildcats to a league title that year, a regional title, and helped them take second as a team at state. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Now at Denver Mattress.
We take time now to honor a local veteran. Staff Sergeant Stephen Casey is serving with the Army and has been since 1979. His hometown, Lamar. We are proud to recognize Staff Sergeant Stephen Casey, tonight's four-state hero. Well, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, is giving away billions of dollars. Mackenzie Scott has committed to donate $4.2 billion to 384 organizations. She wrote in a post on Medium, the pandemic has impacted minorities and women disproportionately. Many of the groups she is donating to provide services for underserved communities. The gifts come less than 6 months after she donated $1.7 billion to 116 organizations back in July. Scott also noted in that Medium post, many billionaires have gotten richer during the pandemic. She's squarely in that group. So when Scott and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos divorced last year, she had a quarter of his stock in the company. That stock has surged during the pandemic. According to Bloomberg, she's now worth more than $60 billion. I don't have $60 billion. Doug, I don't know if you do.
I'd settle for $60 million.
I'd be good with that too. And there's been at least 60 million individual snowflakes that have fallen, even though they're not adding up.
Had a pretty decent amount of light little snow showers. I think most of us are going to kind of top out in that quarter to half an inch range, but a few slick spots, so watch out for that. Cold tonight, cold tomorrow, high 39.
All right, Doug, thank you. We're going to leave you with some Christmas lights in North Maine, in Nevada, Missouri. We'll see you at 5 a.m. Good night.